Hey guys, welcome back to Helga. Sorry, it's been a while. I've been moving, so I'm in a new space, new flat. In today's video, we have a short mini flow, mostly stretching and breath work. It's going to be called Yoga for Assholes with Unbridled Rage, which is very much a target at me and most of my friends. So, we're going to start, like I always like to, sitting down, cross your legs. However is comfortable for you. Doesn't really matter what leg is on top at all. This is all about what works for you. And then we're just going to start bringing the backs of our wrists to the knees. You can keep an open palm, or if you want to get all yogic and stuff, maybe you can bring the pointer finger to the thumb. These three fingers stretched out wide, and maybe you'll feel some sort of chakra alignment or something. I don't really know. I just kind of naturally go here now. Roll the shoulders back, close the eyes, and let's just do some breathing. So we're going to inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3. Exhale out the nose. 1, 2, 3. Inhale again. 1, 2, 3. Exhale out. 1, 2, 3. Big inhale, arms sweep up, palms touch above the head. You can keep your eyes closed for this and just listen to my voice, or you can look at me, that's fine too. And then we're going to join the hands, maybe pointer fingers up, maybe you want all fingers clasped. And then inhale, and exhale, take a side bend toward the right. You want to make sure that this left armpit isn't caving down. You don't want to smell it. You want to inhale, open it. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side. And it does not have to be your deepest bend at all. We're just getting started. And if you're doing this, I assume you have a lot of rage. So when we're very angry, our bodies aren't usually as limber as they are in our calmest state. I'm just talking a lot of bullshit right now, I don't really know. Inhale, center. Exhale, bring your hands down. Inhale, hands back up, grabbing right elbow with left hand, kind of coming for that classic gym class stretch, but we're just doing half of it. So you're going to try to get the elbow right behind the head so it's sticking up from you like a little horn. And then you can use the left hand to pull the shoulder in a little bit more, but please, please do not stress yourself out. You want to be in a place that feels like a decent stretch, but it's also completely sustainable. If you want a little bit more weight, you can push your head into that arm. Exhale, switch. Inhale, pull the left arm in. You want to make sure that you're kind of keeping your pelvis tucked here. Whenever I do shoulder stretches, I always want to just like distend my belly. Don't really know why. It's not good for the lower back, don't do it. Maybe gaze up, maybe push the head into that arm. And then exhale, release, just fingertip, rain the fingers down just because it's fun. Inhale, switch over, just come to a child's pose. We're not going to do a lot of hoopla here, but it's just a nice place to start. Hands shoulder distance apart, spread wide to the mat. Knees, hip distance apart, shins parallel to each other. Beautiful. And then inhale, belly drops, chest through shoulders. Exhale, spine rounds. All the shit on the mat. Inhale, belly drop. Exhale, spine rounds. Inhale, come to neutral position. Tuck the toes, lift the knees 1 inch off the mat, press into the hands, engage the core, shoulders over wrist, just very briefly here. Tuck the arms in. Exhale, press back down, dog. Go ahead and take a moment to walk out your dog. We're not going to do a ton of flow today, but we will just get in to some low lunges, just kind of to release the hips. So inhale, right foot steps between the hands. Left knee comes down. You want to make sure right knee is right above right ankle. We're protecting your joints here. Inhale. Arms come up. If this is hard for you to balance, maybe hands heart center, gazing straight ahead. If you're a narcissist like me, you can put a mirror right in front of you like I have done so you can look at your cleavage while you do this. Or just inhale, arms up. Maybe I like to bring fingertips down to the mat. Breathing into that left hip flexor. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, tug the left toe. Just gently for transitional purposes, coming into kind of an assisted hind lunge. And inhale, step the foot up. Exhale, forward fold, as much bend as you need. Inhale, send the arms behind you, clasp the palms. Get a little shoulder stretch, then bend the legs so they're at 90 degrees here. I'm just starting to build a little bit of heat while continuing to stretch those shoulders. And then exhale, release. Maybe you straighten the legs, maybe not. Inhale up to fingertips, right foot comes back. You step down, you lower the knee, you find low lunge. Inhale, hands heart center. Looking at yourself or whatever your gaze point is, or hands up, or maybe open heart, releasing all that anger and that resentment. Breathing into the right hip here, check in on your alignment, no pain anywhere. You want to be in a place that feels like a good stretch, but also feels completely sustainable. Exhale, hands come down, tuck right toe, come up into that brief transitional lunge. Step the left foot back. Inhale, just coming through a little chaturanga. Inhale to plank, shoulders over wrists, pressing through the hands, rounding the shoulders a little bit. This is a yoga plank. Then inhale, push forward a little bit more. Exhale, chaturanga, 90 degrees with the arms. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, and then maybe walk it out, get into those calves a little bit. Then inhale, we're just gonna do this to get warm before we get into our stretches. You're just gonna very simply step right foot forward. And here, instead of your low lunge, you are going to just gently inhale, as slow as you can. Try and challenge yourself a little bit. So lift the fingertips off the mat, and then you're coming up into your high lunge. You want to be pushing forward with that ball of the back foot as much as you can within your comfort zone. You want right thigh almost parallel to the mat. Inhale, arms up, or again, hands at heart center, gazing straight ahead. If that's comfortable for you, boop. You can do that to regain your balance. Push forward with the ball of the foot. Everything is engaged. You're breathing through your nose. Then inhale, straighten the leg. Right toes come in, left toes come out. You are coming to the same pose, just on the other side of your mat. Change your perspective. Push forward with the right ball of the foot. Thighs close to parallel as it can be, remember. Knee over ankle. Your gaze point is wherever is comfortable for you. 5, 4, hips are square. 3, 2, 1. Bring both feet down. Bring the hands down here. And then you can have a little fun, or you can heel toe the feet into squat, or you can just take a light little jump. It won't be very far at all. Heels and toes pointed out. Malasana, squat pose. I'm sorry, I'm not in the middle of the camera. If that annoys any of you, maybe I'll, whoop. Okay, there, more centered. All right, make sure toes are pointing the same direction as knees. Bring the elbows into the knees and fists into each other. Push the fists into one another. Push the elbows into the knees back into the elbows. Maybe bounce, don't hurt yourself. And maybe look up. Breathe through the nose. We hold a lot of emotions in our hips, so that's why I wanted to get us a little warm so we can hold some light. This may feel very intense for you. If it does, maybe you have a block or a pillow that you could bring under your glutes here to help assist yourself. You always want the heels on the mat though in this pose. But we hold a lot of emotions in our hips, so feel free to do whatever you have to do as we hold this. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you want to cry, maybe you want to grab your phone and call your enemies, whatever you need to do. As we open and release. And then to help distract here, let's inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Make it heard. Really just breathe out all of your resentment right now. Inhale. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Awesome job. Okay, be careful coming out of this. If that was a little intense for you, bring the hands down maybe. And then just come up to stand. And then just exhale, slowly sit back down. You can keep the hands on the mat, then inhale, stand. Exhale, back down. Inhale, stand. Exhale, back down. Beautiful job. However you need to get there, if you have a pretty deep squat, maybe just bring the hands back and you're already seated. Or just manipulate yourself back, however you want there for that. And then we're going to come back into cross-legged seated position here. And you are going to inhale, walk the hands forward. Just over your little fold. And inhale, walk the hands back. Okay, we are coming to a modified frog pose here. I figured frog pose would be a little intense since we're not super warm. We're just kind of stretching out and doing some breath work. So I'll show you what to do. It's gonna get a little, I don't know, we may break YouTube guidelines with this one. But what I need you to do is bring the knees wide and then bring the toes to touch here. And then you don't want to be rolling forward, even though you could roll forward and look like you were in a better version of the pose. You want to be pushing the hips down here, okay? You want it, this is kind of like a precursor to frog and middle split. So you want the hips as close to the mat as possible, then bring the hands forward. And just continue to press them down. If that feels too easy, walk the knees further apart. You want to be in a place, again, that feels like a pretty nice stretch, but also feels like if I forced you to, but I can't force you to do anything, I'm just an online instructor, that you could hold it for maybe 2 to 3 minutes for quite a long time. But again, breathe into your hips here. Take note of your body. See if you feel the hips opening a little bit more than perhaps they felt this morning. See if you're calming down at all. Or perhaps this could have the reverse effect and you could listen to like my completely irritating voice and like all my bullshit and get even more mad. Which in that case, I'm not sure I can help you. Inhale, beautiful job. Walk the hands back up. You want to be pretty careful coming out of this, especially if you're new to it, so bring the knees in. Just gently bring them together. And then maybe bring the feet hip distance apart, and you kind of, I'll show you this angle's better, and then you have your knees here. And then we'll just do some seated cat and cows to relieve ourselves from that. So you're gonna bring it back. Inhale, up and forward, roll the shoulders back, send the chest tilted a little bit. Now roll back, gaze the navel. Inhale up, Now we're going to do two of my favorite things, and these are kind of the quickest ways to calm myself down. Unfortunately, the last one looks really ridiculous, but I have done it in public in states of emergency when I kind of feel public meltdown coming on. But we'll start with the breath work. This is very simple, very easy. I know a lot of people that just do the specific breath exercise before bed. So come to cross-legged seat. I brought myself into half lotus. I don't know why, but if you want to, you can as well. Doesn't really matter for the scope of this breath work. So what you're going to do is just pick a hand, doesn't matter what hand, and then bring the other hand just on the knee. The hand that you have chosen, thumb is going to come to the right nostril. Either middle finger and pointer finger are going to come to the left nostril, and you're going to use these to plug the nostrils, the relative nostrils. So you're going to start plugging the right nostril with the thumb. Inhale through the left nostril. Hold it at the top, plug the left nostril. Breathe it out the right. In through the right. Hold at the top, you plug that right. Exhale out the left. Inhale through the left. Exhale out the right. Inhale through the right. Plug it. Exhale out the left. Inhale. Plug left. Take a little hold at the top. Exhale out right. Wow, that is nicer than I remember. Take just some deep breaths through both nostrils, and if you want to relax a little bit more, maybe close your eyes and just take some big neck circles here. And then switch directions. Now we're going to do my favorite thing to do before Shavasana, especially if I'm feeling extra stressed out. You're going to come on your back. I think, yep, you can see me, cool. Okay, so what it's going to look like is you're going to roll yourself up into a tight little ball here. And then once you're in this little ball, see if you can make contact, thighs to chest, maybe chin to knees. You're going to tense every muscle in your body, like every little finger pad. You're going to point those toes. You're going to flex the calf, just everything, and you're going to take a big inhale. Hold it at the top as you're flexing. And then exhale out the mouth, release it to Shavasana. I don't want to kick my candles, that's why I got this weird leg here. Inhale back in. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Hold at the top. Exhale out. So you can do regular Shavasana, arms out wide or legs as wide as the mat. Or I kind of like when I'm doing these to do this version of Supta Baddha Konasana where I bring the feet together. Knees wide, arms right in front of me. Then inhale in. Squeeze, squeeze. Hold the breath. Exhale out. Inhale, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale out. Now inhale, bring it in. Maybe hands on top of shins. Maybe it's easy for you to have them behind right now. And just take some rolls up and down the spine. Super fun. Maybe try to giggle a little bit. And then I won't join you for it. But if you wish, especially if you're feeling stressed out, please do take your traditional Savasana here. And maybe you want a hand on the belly, a hand on the heart. Sometimes even just that slight weight of your hands can be super comforting here. And stay here as long as you wish, perhaps forever.